Alright, y'all, what's good? Welcome back to another reaction with your boy Isaac, man. And you know what I'm saying, if you haven't seen the two reactions I got done before this, y'all go tune into those. They funny as hell. I just got done reacting to the Blueface and Krishan situation with their new baby. A lot going on over there, but that's not the video that we talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now we got Tommy G. Shout out my boy Tommy G. I told y'all he one of my favorite channels overall on YouTube. Like I love his content. We got Tommy G visiting the most drug addicted city in America. I'm not sure where that is. Is it Philly, bro? I know Philly is bad, bro. Like especially like over like Kensington Ave and stuff like that. I don't know if it's Philly, but it might be. But if not, I'm excited, or I'm looking forward to seeing what city he's even talking about. But like I said, man, shout out Tommy G, man. He be doing his thing. If you're new to the channel, scroll down, sub up for me, man. Leave a like. You know, head over to my main channel, sub up over there. We got pranks coming all the time. We lit over there. It's just Isaac. ISAAC, you feel me? And we doing pranks and all that over there. You gonna love it. So yeah, that's all I got to say, man. Let's just forgive me, get straight into the video.
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman.
Now we are seeing students as young as first grade.
He said it feels
Superman.
like what?
Now
Superman?
we are seeing students as young as first grade who have had drug issues.
What percent of guys that are
That's
slaying you
crazy.
think waste their
Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. Really?
Online it says that Omaha is
I
the most
wouldn't have
drug
guessed
addicted
that.
city in America. Does that surprise you?
The United States of America is facing a massive drug crisis. In 2021, over 106,000 people died from drug overdoses. This is up 14% from 2020. The main culprit in this story is fentanyl.
Next to the fentanyl crisis wreaking havoc.
Put that shit down, man. Like, oh my god, bro, that shit is literally poison, bro. Don't do drugs, everybody, especially like popping pills, perks, all that type of shit. It be laced, man. It's never worth the risk, bro. Like, it's never worth the risk. I'm talking about lean, any of that shit, bro. Like, if you have to do drugs, smoke weed, man. Smoke weed, bro. Keep it natural, bro. Shrooms at the most, bro. Like, keep it natural. This shit come from the earth, bro. But I don't suggest doing any type of drugs, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just gonna slow you down, halt your progress for whatever goals you got in life, man. It's not worth it. But ain't nothing wrong with smoking a little weed for real, man. If you do that, but do not go further than that, please. Please.
In communities across the country, overdoses, drug seizures, and concerns continue to grow from coast to coast.
The victim can be seen buying the fentanyl and then walking over to the front door of the gas station before collapsing.
A snapshot of America's fentanyl crisis. An average of one person every 10 hours dies in this city of a fentanyl overdose.
A lot more people are dying, and it's in a lot of the drug supply, and people are doing it without knowing they're doing it.
Fentanyl was created in 1959 by Dr. Paul Janssen to be a more efficient alternative to morphine, and it's used in hospitals to help with surgeries and pain management. Due to its potency and how cheap it is to produce, drug dealers cut their products with fentanyl to stretch it and make it stronger. The journey of fentanyl to the United States is as follows. Much of it is created in China and India, and it's sold to Mexican criminal organizations like the Sinaloa cartel. It's then smuggled across the border, and it's been flooding the American streets. Today, we visit the most drug-addicted city in America, Omaha, and have been flooding the American streets. Today, we visit the
Top 10 cities with the most drug use. Really? There's nowhere in the South for real. That's surprising to me. That's surprising to me, I'm not gonna lie. The Midwest. Oh wait, no, that's the Midwest up here. I'm tripping. The middle parts of the U.S. I'm not really that familiar with the culture out there, so I really didn't know that. But Colorado Springs, Vegas, Arizona, Phoenix, Phoenix is bad out there with the drugs. Minneapolis, for real? Omaha, Wichita, Kansas. Okay, Wichita doesn't really surprise me. I'm not gonna lie. I know it get rough out there. That's one state I do know about. Wichita, Kansas. I mean city. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Indianapolis. Okay, see, man. They be on drugs bad out there. It's crazy.
The most drug-addicted city in America, Omaha, Nebraska. Top in the nation for meth, cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. We speak with addicts,
Damn,
people in
meth,
recovery,
cocaine.
drug dealers, and law enforcement. Let's hit the
All of
streets.
that? Meth, cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. They're leading in all four.
First, we stop at University of Nebraska, Omaha to speak with Coalition RX, a nonprofit dedicated to reducing drug use.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carrie.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We're seeing big pharma on the streets, and we're seeing a lot of drugs, mainly fentanyl. And the bad thing about fentanyl is just little grams to kill you.
If you look at a drug dealer like a business operation, what's in it for them to lace things with fentanyl?
It's cheap, and
I
it
was about
gives
to
you
say,
a good...
it literally is cheap for them to do. They could cut it with the rest of their shit, and it gets the people hooked and coming back, man. You feel me? I'm not gonna lie. If you cutting your shit with fentanyl, bro, that's some evil shit. It really is some evil shit. Like, you willingly killing people, bro. You're willingly killing people for some money. That's the definition of selling your soul, bro. In my eyes. Like, that is so inhumane. Like, you know, for the love of money, I guess. But, like, no. For the love of money is never that serious, bro. You willingly killing people, bro. That's some evil shit.
A kick of high.
It's one of the most dangerous drugs we've ever seen.
How is fentanyl getting into this country? Does anyone know the source, where it comes from, how it gets here?
The drugs are being manufactured in China, and they're being sold to the groups like Sinaloa in Mexico, and then trafficking it across the border.
Federal agents found 300,000 fentanyl pills and 11 pounds of fentanyl powder. Authorities say the SUV has crossed the U.S.-Mexico border multiple times.
Now we are seeing students as young as first grade
No.
who have had drug issues. Oh, big pharma, in my mind, they are the people that needed to be held accountable. They've been getting off scot-free, if you ask me.
My son passed away when he was 18 from an accidental
peace, man.
oxycodone overdose right here on this campus, actually. He had just finished his freshman year on a full academic scholarship here, and from what I can tell, he was experimenting with drugs, I believe, because of some stress he was under with grades and different things. And he went to sleep one night after getting some oxycodone from another student, and he didn't wake up that morning.
If we meet a drug dealer today that bolsters his business with fentanyl, what would be your
Rest in
message to that
peace.
drug dealer? What would you like to say to him?
Well, I want them to think about their own child or their niece or nephew or the kid next door. Would they want that kid's life to end because of what they're doing to make a buck? They're killing people's kids.
Addiction
I'm gonna say, man,
is
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bro, and it's the sad reality, bro. A lot of the drug dealers that are doing that type of shit, they don't care, bro. Like, they'll do anything to get that dollar, bro. And it's sad, it sucks, bro, but a lot of them, they'll sell it to their own people, bro, if they want to buy it. That's the reality of the situation, bro. Like, a lot of drug dealers who do that type of shit, cutting their drugs with fentanyl and all this other shit that could kill you and it's toxic like that, like I said, it's inhumane, bro. It really is inhumane, and they probably don't have remorse while they're doing that type of shit, and it's not cool, man. It's not cool. Like I said, y'all, just protect yourselves, man. Stay away from the pills, stay away from the lean, stay away from all that type of shit, bro. Like, any type of drugs like that, bro, like, it's never worth it. I promise it's never worth it.
is giving up everything for one thing, but recovery is giving up one thing for everything.
How many people in this room has either had a family member or know of someone that has overdosed in their circle?
Yeah.
Since there's fentanyl in a lot of things, you can carry naloxone. So what you do is you put it into your nasal cavity. I don't have the test.
I
and
put
then
this up their nose.
You put this part, and then you just push down, and it will spray.
Corporal Crane was equipped with the nasal spray Narcan, a prescription medicine that rapidly reverses the effects of an overdose.
Thanks, you guys.
Take care.
Next, we had to speak to a former drug dealer that can give us insights on how narcotics are moving through this area.
So we're heading to a trap house in Omaha, talk to a dealer, get inside their head. Tell me about the drug scene in Omaha.
It's pretty active right now. I mean, when you hit us up saying that there's an epidemic level, I honestly thought to myself, I was like, well shit, the drugs have always really been here. One of the big things right now is meth, a lot of overdoses.
Does that make you nervous being in the game?
This made me a little nervous, not gonna lie, because nobody really knows, understands what they're doing nowadays, you know what I mean?
Does it make you nervous enough to the point where you wouldn't come and talk to a white man on camera? I know this Tommy G and all, but like, you know, I know you got a ski mask and a voice changer on, but gang, if you're that nervous, you wouldn't be talking to no white man on the camera about it, man. Like,
what do you view as the impact of fentanyl coming into the game?
It's honestly a travesty because it just kills people.
So what percent of guys that are slaying you think lace their shit?
I just assume everybody, because at the end of the day, when they get it, they themselves sometimes don't know if it's been stepped on or cut or anything, you know what I mean?
Tell me about the journey of how drugs get to America and how Omaha is a central point of that.
The way I understand it is just because we're on I-80, Interstate 80, everything gotta come and go through here at some point in time. That's why, like, Nebraska, they call it the gauntlet, because we make so many drug busts on the interstate.
Have you ever felt bad for a customer?
At the end of the day, people are grown, it's their own responsibility to handle their shit, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do the drugs, not let the drugs do you, whatever it is you do.
What made you decide to get into the game?
I did it out of necessity, like out of survival, because I lost my job, a lot of different things were going on, I got in trouble with the law, and I was just trying to figure myself out.
And what kind of things went down in this house that we're at?
This place, man, everything used to go down here. Literally everything. Meth, coke, crack, weed, everything. Like, I got out in 2019. I went away before it ever even got raided.
What was your childhood like?
That's pretty regular.
Do your parents know what you've been up to?
Do they know everything? No, but my mom, I love my mom, so she has an idea.
Does it surprise you to hear that Omaha is the most drug-addicted city in the country?
It kind of does.
Big Pharma, what role do you think they play in this whole game?
I think they play a big role in it. Because a lot of the stuff that people are exposed to wasn't around before them.
If you came face to face with a mother of someone that has died from drug overdose, what would you say to her?
Sorry for your loss. I mean, the person makes their own choice at the end of the day. Nobody forced them to do that. I feel sorry for them.
yeah, it sucks. It does suck. At the end of the day, you just have to know to not make that decision, bro. You have to know better. I know you want to have a good time, probably feel that high, take the pain away, but there's so many other options, y'all. There's so many other options. Don't do it to yourself. At the end of the day, we grown as hell, and for the people that are young people and are being affected by these types of things, that's sad. It really is. Just hope they got better influences around them, man. For real. But yeah, from the perspective of a dealer, bro, I'ma just say, like, I don't think they really be caring that much, bro, because it's like the people are making the decision to do the drugs themselves. Like, they're not forcing them to buy the drugs, but at the same time, y'all are like cutting it with certain shit. Like, I mean, he said a lot of people don't be knowing whether it's stepped on or cut with something when they get it, and that might be true. That probably is true. But at the same time, it's like the people that are cutting it, bro, like, come on, bro. That's some inhumane shit to do.
Is there like a code on the streets, like most dealers won't deal to kids, or do you know of any guys that'll sell to a 5th grader or a 6th grader?
I think if anybody got the money, anybody will serve it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you could retire from this profession, what would you get into?
I'd like to do what you're doing.
Bienvenidos al mundo de Spectrum One, donde cada día más personas disfrutan de una experiencia única, con una
Next, we head to a part of Omaha where drug addicts and homeless people are living in tents on the street to get their story and hear what their life is like.
Omaha is known as the most drug addicted city in America.
It is. I'm with the outreach program. I'm a psychologist. Fentanyl is the worst thing in the world. They used it when they put you under to do surgery. They quit using it when it disappeared off the docks. They went to Mexico. It comes back to the United States. They stomp on it. What stomping means, they mix it with other things. Young cats like you get it.
What can you tell us about life here?
Difficult, hot, resources are slim.
Do you survive out here all day?
Yeah, I'm here 24/7.
What gets someone to a point that they're willing to be outside in a tent in 90-degree heat?
To get away. Sometimes it's better to be out here than it is to be in an abusive situation. And guess what? It could happen to you two guys too.
What's the drug that's running through Omaha right now?
Meth, crack, there's some cocaine and weed. Pretty much anything you want to find is pretty much everywhere.
Right here.
I got out of the situation that I was in and ran out of funds, so I got stuck here until I can get enough funds up to be able to get into a place.
People are bad. They've had a bad situation, but sometimes the system doesn't allow that.
What could the system change, or what could be better about the system?
Other psychologists, psychiatrists, outreach programs, hospitals where they can take their medication, etc., etc. They can live a normal life.
This is kind of the Skid Row of Omaha, I would say.
Hell yeah, this the bottom. I can't get my fucking ID. They f***ing with me. They keep talking about they care about the people that's homeless. They don't want you to put your tents up nowhere. Why the f*** we can't put our tents up nowhere and y'all not trying to help us?
I had suspicions about this guy, so I called the Sienna Francis house to see if he worked there. They said he was not a psychiatrist on staff. He was a patient. Today we meet John, a former addict helped.
I had suspicions about him. He wasn't a psychiatrist, he was a patient. What, so he was using too?
Other people on the path to recovery outside the Sienna Francis house, which is a place leading the charge in helping the homeless, but also one of the highly concentrated areas of drug addicts in the city. It's a sketchy place that plays a central role in this story.
The most drug-addicted city in America is arguably Omaha, Nebraska. Does that surprise you to hear?
That's the first time I've heard that. I know it's bad here, the fentanyl epidemic, the opioid crisis. I know it's known for the methamphetamine use, but yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
So I've got a for-profit counseling agency, Halo Counseling Center. I've been doing that for about the last 8 years, started that in 2015. So we do a lot of work with like the criminal justice system. Most of our referrals come from probations, drug courts, veterans courts, things like that. It's insane. I mean, our business just continues to grow. I started off with just me, myself, and I, and now we're up to 8 counselors, 5 offices, and we still can't keep up.
What got you into this?
So I got my own history. In 2006, I was out on the streets smoking meth. I was involved in a raid September 11, 2006, and was arrested, charged with conspiracy to distribute 500 grams of meth. So I was just with the guy that was doing it, basically. I was his right-hand man. So
that's where it started for me, where my sobriety got started, was that treatment facility right there. Used to be a lot of tents out here, and if we end up walking down farther that way, you'll see a lot of tents and everything where the people choose not to go into the shelter. You know, they're either not ready yet or it's just not for them.
How did you become
How do you get on meth though? Like, starting, like, because I know it's a lot of gateway drugs that lead to that type of shit. So, like, how do you go from sober to, say, trying weed to, say, upgrading, I don't know, to maybe lean or pills or something? And then what do you move to? You move to coke or what? Like straight to meth? Like, I just feel like hearing meth and knowing about meth, like, before you even do it for the first ever time, it's like, you know what meth does to people. It's like, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me personally, like, I don't see how you could want to try that. Now, for the people that are already hooked on that, it's a different story, but like the ones who haven't tried it yet, how do you go about convincing yourself to try something like meth or heroin or fentanyl? Like, what goes through your head when you decide, yeah, I'm gonna just give it a try, knowing all the things you hear about it? I don't get it, man. Like, don't do that to yourself, y'all.
I got arrested, which is my sober date, August 26th of 2020, and arrested for methamphetamine. I went to jail for 6 months, and I've been battling drug addiction for probably the last 10 years. And so I was arrested, sat in jail for 6 months. I came over here. I was here for 7 months, and then went to the halfway house, and then just been trying to get my life back together slowly but surely.
It seems like jail is a lot of people's sober day.
Yeah, absolutely. Some sort of higher power, man, that gave me the option to do a program.
Jail
that we
isn't
offer
good,
here.
y'all. Jail isn't good at all, but it is like it does help for people that are addicted to drugs, bro. I will say that. Like you have to go and sit down for some months with no access to the drugs. Like it helps a lot of people sober up. That might be the one positive about jail, bro. Aside from that, there really are no positives to jail, in my opinion.
Here, and if I graduate that program, I get the felony removed from my records.
Once I got into jail, it was almost a sense of relief because I had attempted sobriety, some feeble attempts, didn't really reach out to get any real help. Then when I was charged federally, then it just became a fear factor. Once you see the United States of America versus John Sapensky, that tends to tighten some things up in the old body there.
What does your first hit of meth feel like?
Superman, euphoria, energy. I was at work, I was mowing lawns, and I had a hangover from the night before, and my boss was like, dude, what's wrong? What's going on, man? Usually, you're doing a good job at work. Man, I got a hangover, I feel like crap, whatever. He's like, go talk to my brother. So I went and talked to the brother. He pulls out a bag of meth, took a big old snort, and I'm mowing lawns like nobody's business. I'm running around with a weed eater and just tearing people's lawns apart. It was glorious.
So it started out pretty innocent.
Yeah, within weeks, I'm staying up for days on end.
So that's
it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to work at 6. I need to get more dope. Can't find any more dope. Can't go to work. And the cycle began.
My first experience with it was I was using marijuana at the time, and my friend came over, and I took a hit of meth, and it really didn't do anything for me then. I don't know if it was because I was already prescribed amphetamines, legal amphetamines. And then years down the road, after I got into some trouble in a different city, I was on probation, and I was kind of trying to be clean, and a girl said to me that I was seeing at the time, she said, well, this will make sex better. Of course, I'm all for it. If it's gonna make sex better, why not?
How'd you...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I'm ever with a girl, me personally, if I am ever with a girl, what we finna do, and she tries to sit here with a straight face, look me in my face and tell me, yeah, take this meth, it's gonna make the sex better. Oh, get out. Oh, get out, bro. Like, I have nothing else to say. Like, there is nothing more we need to speak about, you fucking crackhead. Like, no disrespect, but disrespect. Like, come on, cuz, get out of my face, my nigga. Like, there's no way you sat here and looked at me and told me you thought I was gonna go for that. Like, you looked at me and said, yeah, I'm gonna ask him to do some meth. It's gonna make the sex better. Bro, if you don't get your... Bro, get out, my nigga. Beat it, bitch.
You find your way here, what's your story?
I got in trouble with the law.
shit.
I was addicted to meth for like 13 years.
When was your first introduction into meth? How'd you start that?
When I was 16 years old.
It's gonna make
I used
the
to drink
sex
a lot
better.
with my friends and stuff. And
what?
I got introduced to it one night. It was like something
Oh,
to
shut
stay
up.
awake, to party more. And then it became like an everyday thing. I went to jail.
How long did you...
Some of these girls be niggas' downfalls, bro. A nigga will do anything because a girl said to do it, bro. Like, my nigga, you could have cooled it right there. Kept smoking your weed, bro. But because a weird ass girl told you to take a hit of some meth, started a whole cycle. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, if you even look like you be doing that type of shit, like, I'm sure I wouldn't even have you around me. Like, the audacity to say, yeah, take a hit of some meth, it's gonna make the sex better. Did you really just, like, I don't know, y'all. I keep saying it's the same thing, but like, you really thought I would go for that? What about me made you think that I would go for that? What made you comfortable to ask me to take a hit of some fucking meth?
You sure?
I was in there for 3 months.
Did that help you on the road to sobriety?
If I would have got out and just went back on the streets, I'd probably be back on drugs right now.
What should the punishment be for a dealer that's selling people meth?
Definitely jail time.
What was the low point of your meth journey?
Right before I came here, I lost custody of my girls. I lost the love of my life. I'm facing like 17 years in prison right now. If you're struggling with drug addiction, you got to find your higher power. You got to believe in something higher than you. If you need help, it's always nice to reach out to somebody that you love and tell them the problems you're going through.
Question: what is the best e-commerce business to start today? Is it dropshipping from China and selling on Shopify? Long delivery.
Our next stop is talking to drug dealer Shakedown, who is currently facing federal time for her narcotics operation. We wanted to talk to someone that had hands-on experience with fentanyl. Here's what we learned.
How would you describe yourself?
Just try to get a dollar, take care of my people.
So what are you currently up against right now?
Facing about 9 to 10 years, manufacturing methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine. I've spent 5 years already in prison. You know, I mean, this is federal time, so it's gonna be different.
Do you think there's any shot at beating the case, or what are you looking at?
No, I don't think so. It's nothing that's gonna stop me from going to prison for some time. I ain't started, really.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the conviction rate for the feds is crazy. It's like, what, 97% or 99%? I don't think it's 99. It might be 97. It's one of those. But yeah, beating the feds is tough, yo. You gotta have a superstar lawyer for real. And even then, it's a stretch.
Hustling like selling narcotics and whatnot until 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Before that, I was hitting licks, like robbing people, going to people's cars, going to people's houses, and doing what I could to just stay afloat. I was introduced to selling drugs, and I was like, damn, I ain't gotta beat nobody up no more. I ain't gotta do all this. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta do all this. Put my life at risk. Put your life at risk. You know what I mean? You put people through that. You
still putting people's life at risk.
You ever felt bad for a customer?
Before I ever started selling fentanyl, I lost my girlfriend. My girlfriend before this, I didn't give a f***. I was like, if I'm gonna lose somebody, y'all gonna lose somebody. I kind of like numbed up after a while. Like,
what are the drugs that are going through Omaha right now? Like, what are the biggest drugs that people are selling?
Fentanyl's super heavy right now. They don't even want heroin no more. Fentanyl is synthetic heroin. That's what they going for. They want that shit immediately.
What was your childhood like?
I was in the system. I was locked up. Like, I've been locked up since I was 14.
What were you booked for?
Distributing and conspiring to confederate methamphetamine, fentanyl, and cocaine over 400, but less than 700 grams.
How much money does all that cost?
That'd be like 50,000.
And then what can you flip that into?
You get 50,000 straight up, and you ain't find people, you gonna flip that to 150,000 easy.
The first hit of fentanyl, what is that like?
If you are constantly a person that deals with trauma and traumatic situations, it's gone for a minute, you know what I mean?
Do you think most drug users and even drug sellers are running away from trauma, and drugs are kind of the way to like patch up the pain?
Hell yeah. I feel like it's never the drugs, it's the experiences that you've been through that made you, gravitate to that.
Earlier this morning we met with the mom of a kid who overdosed, and it's just her son's death has impacted the whole family. It has a trickle effect. What would you say to the parents of people that have overdosed?
I've been through it, so it's like I don't, people make their own choices, and you just gotta stop them from making those choices, not by telling them what to do.
What's the youngest person you would say that has come to buy drugs from you?
13, 14.
What does it cost for a serving of fentanyl?
If you buy it in bulk, I can get it for $1.25.
And what do you sell it for?
$30.
I wish you the best.
I appreciate you.
Tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, I was living out in Omaha, and the Perk 30s were really huge, and that's how I started using,
I've heard that in rap songs.
Yep.
Perk 10, I just popped the Perk 10. Perk 30, I just popped Perk 30s.
Everyone talks about the Perk 30s. They glamorize using the Perk 30s, getting fucked up on the Perk 30s, but honestly, laced with fentanyl, super addictive. A lot of it is the chemical dependency in your body. It's not so much you wanting to get high anymore, it's your body physically needs it. My drug addiction really took everything from me. The number one thing on my mind all the time was getting high and using.
How long have you been clean for?
I've been clean for 70 days.
What is your plan to make sure you don't fall back?
Those withdrawals, man, when I went through withdrawals and treatment, it felt like I was on my deathbed, Couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I was throwing up, and that's a big reason why I feel like I can't go back, is just because I know the hold that it'll have on my life. I was spending $500 a week on my drug habit.
What was rock bottom for you?
I was staying in someone else's house, no money, selling my own things on Facebook, so that way I had money to get high, and even then Addiction doesn't discriminate, you know. People think that it's only low-class people who get addicted to drugs, but honestly, anyone can get addicted to drugs. I was very fortunate growing up. When I was finally on my own, I met a man who kind of veered my life in a different direction, and I chose to take that path.
I can't imagine what it's like doing your job in this area. What is it like?
You get used to it. I mean, that's what you signed up for, right?
What would you do to help a city like this?
I really don't have an answer for you.
I guess you can either invest money into the incarceration side, or you can invest money into the rehabilitation side.
So you gotta go for rehabilitation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to help people as best you can. You don't want to incarcerate them for life.
What percent of the calls you would say you have to answer to are drug related?
Probably more than half.
We appreciate what you're doing, and thank you.
Yeah, you all take care, all right?
Folks, hope you enjoyed this episode. You want to watch another? Here. You want to subscribe? Over here. See you next week.
Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for this one, man. Y'all go watch my reaction to this video too, man. It was going crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. It's one of my best videos on my channel. But yeah, man, shout out Tommy G, man. Shout out Tommy G. Final closing thoughts on this one, y'all. It's sad, bro. It really is sad. Do your best to stay away from them type of drugs, y'all. Do your best to stay away from drugs in general, for real, but especially pills, gateway drugs, shit like that, bro. Like, y'all know, we all know what we talking about, bro. Like, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it, possibly risking your life. Cause at the end of the day, bro, you don't even know what you're taking, bro. Half of the time it could be laced, bro, and it's just like, is the risk even worth it, bro? To get high for a momentary time, is the risk worth it, bro? It's not, man. It's not. So don't even do it to yourself, man. Find another way to cope with whatever you feeling. Find another way to get that temporary feeling of satisfaction, you know. Yeah, man, don't do it to yourself. That's all I gotta say, bro. It's never worth it. There's so many better ways. But that's gonna do it for this one, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, scroll down, leave a like, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one, man.